Guys, Roxanne here from Tiny Home Living. It's been a few weeks. My voice is not right yet. It's been a few weeks since I made some video. As you can see, it's winter now. Lots of snow here. Chris and I both got really sick with bronchitis, viral bronchitis. So we just had to suffer through it. Actually, my doctor put me on antibiotics again, steroids, and an inhaler, and we've just had to, it turned out not to be bacterial, so took that for no reason. Anyway, I've been watching videos and reading up a bit more on the benefits of raw milk, and I'm really hoping once we have raw milk that it's going to help me sort of get back some of my immunity and some feeling a lot better than I have been. It's just been one thing after another this year, if you've watched the previous videos. But anyway, I just wanted to make a quick video today. It is like we've got a warm spell here. We had a couple days. I was a little worried about Bella. It was like -20, but sure, her coat is getting thick and shaggy. You know, a little extra warmth for the winter. But it is, I don't know, probably the thermometer in the window isn't accurate because the sun shines on that south window. It says 15 Celsius right now, but I mean, I've got my jacket open. It's really warm. I just wanted to give you a little update on the babies here. This is Ruby's baby, the little one, white chick that was born. So this was obviously WP's egg. And so Ruby's 4 babies, we have 2 hens and 2 roosters, and I think we are going to keep those ones. You can see how it's so warm. The chickens are having their dirt baths everywhere. This was the runt, and he's a little rooster, and him and the white rooster are always challenging each other. I think that might be Ruby right there. She's still hanging around with them, and I'm not sure about this one. We managed to corner the 2 chicks of Hazels that are full grown now and get rings on them, so we'll be able to tell them from the 2 new hens. But look at this guy, how big he is. When his tail feathers come out, you'll see how pretty he is, and we are going to keep him. So anyway, I just thought I'd give you a little update on Ruby's chicks. I mean, it's been weeks, and of course I haven't really been able to watch them much. So we will have 2 more hens. For some reason, our chickens laid eggs all last winter, and they're not laying this winter. We don't really know why. Again, you know, we're new enough at this that we don't know everything, that's for sure. But what we're doing today, as you know, if you watched the earlier videos, we built this little barn. The walls, the 4 walls, were actually gigantic skids, 16 by 16 skids. I'm not a big fan of building stuff out of skids. You see people building sheds and barns and some even little cabins out of them, but the wood is so inferior, and a lot of it is really not very good wood. These were really heavy ones because they were from hot tubs, and we figured it out, Chris figured it out, each skid had about $320 worth of 2x4s in it. So they were worth using. Now, because like we made the doors out of the slats and everything, we showed that on previous videos, the wood does shrink quite a bit, so there's quite a bit of gaps on the doors, and when the wind blows from either the south or the north, the wind, I mean, she's sheltered in there, but what we've decided to do is use the feed bags that Chris has saved, because they're like really heavy duty plastic. We've saved the feed bags, and we're actually we're cutting them and lining the inside of the doors in the barn and the inside of the walls, because there are quite a few gaps in those skids. They weren't, you know, they're not built, you know, it's not like when you're building walls and they're 16 inches on center and everything. So and some of the slats are, you know, pretty crappy wood. So what we're going to do before we put the foam insulation in the walls is line the walls with these feed bags. Chris had just a huge stack of them because, of course, you know me. I keep saying don't throw anything away. This is garbage to some people. It would go to the dump or the landfill, not us. So we're actually, I mean, most of us who've built homes before, you've used Tyvek on almost anything. And this stuff is so much thicker and heavier than Tyvek. So it just makes sense to me to use it. We're going to put it on the inside of Rusty's at my feet, and I think he might want to challenge me. He hasn't done that in quite a while. But if he spurs me, we've got a couple more roosters now, and he might end up in a soup pot. So, two of the babies are fighting over there, and Rusty started screeching. So anyway, we are going to do that today because it is just so beautiful out. I have been gradually getting through the tomatoes. We had them all in the new tiny house, sitting in the sun, and I ended up processing 150 pounds of tomatoes while I was sick, just gradually. I have another batch of 30 pounds on the stove right now, reducing. I'm reducing them a lot more to get the liquid out, because I want to make a batch of pizza sauce. Most of it I've just made spaghetti sauce. So anyway, making lots of spaghetti sauce because I had lots of tomatoes. And like I said, really, seriously, Rusty, come on. We're busy here. Some of us are trying to work. Look at the two little ones. There's such a big difference in size. Those over there. And the girls are laying in the sun. Oh, please. Anyway, let's go see what Chris is doing. Now I don't know where I've left my gloves. I'll have to find them. I'm like a little kid losing my mittens all the time. We also did not get any skirting done here, but what we did do is get some straw. We can always use it for the chickens and the cow next year for the bedding. So we've sort of blocked in the worst of the underneath of the tiny house to keep the wind. Oh, now the dog's running off. I have to stand and guard her because Rusty will come after her. Anyway, so we're just trying to get a little bit done. I think I must have a little bit of laryngitis or something, just because I was just coughing so much. It was funny, I was almost all better, and then this thing started with my voice the last couple of days, but Chris keeps making fun of me because I talk funny. But for at least a week or so, I had to literally sit straight up in bed and just sit there all night long, no sleep, because I simply couldn't stop coughing enough to actually fall asleep. So one more episode of misery over with, hopefully. I am so tired of this. Hopefully we'll be fine for now and get through the rest of the winter. The one thing we're trying to do, you saw in an earlier video, we put some boards on here so we wouldn't be falling over these and hitting them with the tractor, but we did not get the solar system even started. We were getting sick at the time. Chris was already so dizzy he couldn't turn the 2x4s to get those things in the ground, and then I got sick, so we were both down for the count. So it's just gonna have to wait till spring. We even left the tools, the tape measures and everything on the ground, and we had to go out and like walk, you know, in a grid to find the tools that we had left in the snow. Terrible thing to do. Like, that's just not how you take care of your tools. But we were both sick and we were both exhausted and didn't really expect the snow. So we did find them though. So that made Christopher happy. Leaving your tools in the snow all winter. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Anyway, I'm going to get this dog inside and find my gloves and go help Chris. Chris actually found some straw from a local guy really close to us here, and just got 3 bales of this hay that has more alfalfa in it to see, and of course we can only feed a tiny bit of it to Bella at the same time. Look at these crazy chickens. The dirt's so soft and warm. And there's my beautiful, you can see even from here how shaggy she's looking. Because the cold weather she was actually out laying down in the long grass by the tree line yesterday. Weren't you beautiful? Weren't you? Who's the most beautiful girl? Who's the most beautiful girl? I haven't been getting the halter on her enough. I've just been too sick. I did do it a few times and she almost pulled my arms off again. So, you know, just with us being sick, and a big part of the problem was we were so dizzy. So having her jerking me around the barn was not gonna work, that's for sure. But look at how sweet she is. Yes, you're such a sweet girl. And look at that big belly. Hey? I think she is actually starting to, what they call, bag up. Her bag is starting to get a little bit rounded and a little bit softer. The one thing I need to do online is ask some friends on the forums I'm on. I've heard them talking about shaving the cow's udder. I cannot imagine getting her to stand still for me to do that. But, oh my goodness, that'll be another adventure maybe. Hey, sweetie. Who's a sweet girl? Who's a sweet girl? She just likes to hang out close to us when we're working on the barn, don't you? She was out in the pasture, and of course she's so snoopy, she just has to come. And of course now with this incredibly nice weather, we'll be able to go through here and get this deadfall cut and have some firewood. We're just about at the bottom of the barrel, scrounging for scraps and all the cut-offs that Chris put in bins from doing the barn when he cleaned up. So we really need to concentrate on getting some firewood cut now. So we figured out if we cut these into two different widths, the skinnier pieces will go in here where there's a smaller space, and the wider pieces will go in there. So you can see Chris has got some of them stapled on here now, so we're able to staple it onto the 2x4 there and down here, and then the foam insulation will just go up against that. And we've got tons of the bags, so this will work great. And again, getting the 2 doors done. I think Chris already got this. Yeah, he's got the back of this door done already. And you can see some of the gaps were getting quite big, and you could really feel the wind coming through there. So this will fix that really well. This cow is the biggest snoop. She was grabbing these. We think she was actually stepping in that bin to get close enough. Look at her. She's got hay there. She's got hay on the other side. She's got her salt lick, and she wants this bale here. And she was actually picking these bags up by the corner and dropping them here. Look at her. She's so snoopy. But we got this, we've got a really nice thick heavy layer of straw in here now. She seems to always be sleeping on this side. She prefers this side, so don't know how that'll work once we're separating the calf. But yeah, look at this thing. Yeah, gotta sniff the bags, gotta lick the bags. Yes. No snot on the camera, please. No snot on the camera. Yes, you're such a snoopy girl. But she's loving the barn. We're not having too much trouble getting her in here at night. And she seems to like sleeping on that side. And she's just being awesome. The only thing I need to work on really is getting the halter on her more. And the last time I got it on her, it wasn't really that difficult. She resisted a bit. And the one day she went and put her head in the corner over there, like that was gonna work. But for now, I'm just gonna close the back door, and I'm gonna get her to come up here and then go through there into the other stall. I'll just open all the barriers and then just sort of walk her in circles. Because that'll mean her stepping up and down and through the doorways and stuff, and I think that'll be good, having little obstacles and getting her to do that with the halter on. I don't think I would be able to get her in if I went out to the pasture and put a halter on her to try and get her in. Look at this, she drops some oats in the bottom, or she drops a nugget, and she's got a hole worked in there. And she's doing the same thing there because she drops her oats when she's chewing. Now with these 2 bags on here, you can actually see with the daylight shining in there how much of a gap there was. And then of course you've got big knot holes like this. So this is going to be an awesome way to fix. And again, anywhere you see daylight, that's where the wind is coming through. So this is working just awesome. And Miss Snoopy keeps coming back to keep me company. She's actually lifting that alfalfa up and eating the stuff underneath. Doesn't take much to get you to come to the barn these days, does it? No. I think I'm gonna close her in now because it's almost 4 o'clock. We didn't realize how late it was. And a couple times she's gone back out this time of day and then she doesn't want to come in. Hey, Piggy. Piggy face. Oh my goodness. So we got the back door done with these bags. We just used the double thickness. Got the top was the worst of it, where the gaps were. So if we have a couple more scraps, we'll get this done. But we got this west wall done. All of this is done. And then we're going to do the back wall next, which is the north wall. And that gets the worst of the wind most days. And then you can see some gaps on this side. If we have any more bags left, we'll continue around the corner there. And really this back wall and back corner is the worst of it anyway, so that'll be most of it done. And then we'll get the foam done another day. We are tuckered out. Every time we bend over to do something, we almost fall down because we're dizzy. So between the two of us, somebody will find us both laid out in the poop and the straw after we've both fainted from getting so dizzy. Bella's out in the field. She's bellowing a little bit now. Not sure if she's going to come in or not. It's getting close to supper time. It gets dark so early now. We're trying to get her in about 4:30. But with the warm temperatures, I think she'd be fine out there in the trees. But we're done for today. Going to have something to eat. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell and share this video with your family and friends. We'll see you next time.